I just put some ice on my bed. Mm-mm-mm. Listen, chat. Welcome back to the chat, man. We live again. Go follow me on Instagram at 203 Pacman at 203 PACMAN. Go follow me on Rumble at PAC 203. Man, I know you get into some videos though, man. Let's get into some. I don't know if y'all listen to Luke Belmar though.
If you can't trust yourself as an autonomous individual, no wonder you're not going to advance in life. Dude, if I told every single and we were gym buddies, if I told you every single we
Hold on. I know y'all don't listen to Belmar because they're not trying to elevate your life. I need to listen to him, man. I listen to a lot of his content, man. He does very well in life, man. He's very enlightened, very spiritual, and let's say escape from the matrix. He has his eyes open, man. He moves with his eyes open.
I wanted to be in a place where I could position myself. And it doesn't matter if you're a brokey, because broke is a condition of the mind. It's not a condition of the pocket.
You gotta you free the. I always say you free the body. A strong body produces a strong mind. So once you start taking care of yourself, mind awakens.
A lot of people are broken up here, so you need to fix this first. The operating system needs to change. People don't change the operating system. So you need to position yourself, fix the operating system, and execute.
Do you think maybe what holds a lot of people back is just like the limiting belief? Because they're probably listening to this and they're thinking like, I can't do this.
So let's evaluate. Why do you limit your beliefs? I'll tell you why you limit your beliefs. You limit your beliefs because you don't trust yourself.
People trust everything that like the system tells them. Like this shit, it blows my mind when you talk to some like you can know from like 2 seconds from talking to somebody if they like what their belief is and like everything like is hard. To someone ghetto, you just know like oh they're stuck to the system. Or you talk to someone and they talk about their fund or some shit like that. You just know like their mind is not in a race. They need to be talking about investments, not retire or 401k. Fuck that shit.
Why don't you trust yourself? Because every time you tell yourself that you're going to do something, you break your own promise. If you can't trust yourself as an autonomous individual, no wonder you're not going to advance in life. Dude, if I told you every single day, right, and we were gym buddies, if I told you every single day that we were going to go to the gym and I didn't show up, but you showed up, right? Or you said, hey, are we going to the gym? Like your body tells you, hey, we need to go to the gym, or how your friends tell you, hey, we got to go work out. If you told me 10 days in a row and I committed, hey, we're going to the gym, but then the morning came around and you came out of the room and I was there eating chips and watching Netflix and I didn't go to the gym with you, on the 10th day, would you believe me?
Not a chance.
Would you trust me?
No, yeah.
So the problem is
People will be procrastinators. That's why people just procrastinate, man. I get up in the morning and I do 25 down push-ups early, and then I go to the gym later on in the day after get I make multiple content before for different YouTube channels or different Facebook pages and stuff like that. So get up, I do 25 down. If y'all don't know what 25 down is, research that early. Then we go work on weights later.
most people don't trust themselves. And the reason they don't trust themselves is because they are in auto self-sabotage mode 24/7. Everything that they do, they're sabotaging themselves. No wonder you can't trust yourself. No wonder you don't have any courage. No wonder you think you're going to fail. Is because your mind is literally telling you, dude, how I can't trust you. I can't trust you. So you need to start on the small wins. Start focusing on the small wins. Get groomed. Clean your room. Start hanging out with good people. But read a chapter in a book and say, I'm going to read a chapter, and you sit down and you read it. Right? I'm going to read this news article, and you sit down and you read it. I'm going to eat good food and not bad food. You do it and you start building trust with yourself. Trust, reputation, rapport. And then you realize, wow, I can actually do anything that I want because I trust myself to do it. So learn how to trust yourself by doing the small things right. And how you do the small things is how you do the big things. So focus on the small things, focus on laying down the bricks. And soon, when you zoom out, you'll have a wall of China. It'll be so big beyond comprehension, people won't be able to even understand.
Hey yo, the shit he be talking be deep. I'm telling y'all, like crazy intellectual, real deep shit. Like, I gotta pay attention.
Understand what was built. It's because every brick that you laid was done with perfection.
Hey guys.
Yeah, how y'all feel about that, man? Yeah, mess with Luke Belmar, man. I fuck with all, like, I fuck with all his content. Like, I watch almost all his videos. I got put on to him. I was watching Sneeko. Yeah, and that's how I got put on to him. Yo, I know it's kind of late. You know, I'm a dad first, though. I'm a father first. So I got to take care of my responsibilities. But I'm still here streaming, man. I ain't trying to miss no days. I missed yesterday, but rough day. I still put out videos, though. Y'all know already how I do, man. I'm going to put these videos out single because I know everybody ain't got all day to watch YouTube videos. So I'm put them out a little at a time. But I thank you for watching, man. I thank you for the hate. I love it. I need it all. Bring it all this way. Feel me? Let's get into the next video. We're going to watch a little bit of tape.
Generating suppressed minds.
And this is Andrew Tate's newest video.
Hello and welcome to my channel. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Analyzing pre-thought detection.
To stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day.
Pre-thought detected. Account termination pending. Account terminated. Severe violations of community guidelines.
Freedom of information is a fundamental human right. We seek a free flow of information. For a nation that is afraid to let its people judge the truth is a nation that is afraid of its people.
Pre-thought detected.
I hope y'all paying attention. Y'all heard what was just being said. A lot of people listen but aren't really listening. Like, it goes to one ear and out the other. They need to really dissect what the stuff that goes on around you. Like, understand, ask why. Why is that like that? Why do we eat cereal in the morning? Is cereal really good for you? It's bigger than black and white. I'm telling y'all, man. They're gonna think big.
If we do well here, if we meet our obligations, if we're moving ahead, then I think.
I know a lot of people don't even know who this president is, man.
Then I think freedom will be secure around the world. If we fail, then freedom fails.
Pause and rumble. DHC George Grant. That's a new T video, man. How I feel about that, man? I'm trying to get my handle on Rumble as my handle on all my platforms, like 2 or 3 Pac Man. I'm trying to. Rumble, reach out, man. Reach out. Y'all should see this clip. I'm gonna put this clip up there too, of me asking to get my handle. So y'all better come on, Rumble. Like, fuck with me, like, come on. I got over 150 videos on Rumble. They making no money. I made like $10. But we going for longevity, man. We ain't looking for no quick money. You know, quick money comes from quick problems, man. Y'all want to get into the next video, man? Hold on. Let's get into this next video. Where it's at, man? Where it's at? All right, we're gonna get into this. Brett, I know y'all don't watch a lot of what's his name? Brett Hooper. Brett Hooper. We're gonna get into this.
What do you want?
Want a job that I don't hate.
It's tough.
Want to do something that matters.
Because it's based off, it's called
Brett Hooper. Showdown: liberals, teachers, and conservative parents. This is gonna be a tough one.
Welcome back to another segment of Off the Clock. I am here in the comment section studio, and we are going to react to another Jubilee Cut style video. Today, we are looking at a video that is conservative parents versus liberal teachers. They have a discussion about what is appropriate in classrooms, political agendas, all of that stuff. I'm excited about this one.
No political shit. Don't teach my kid nothing about political, nothing outside. Listen, you better teach him pi, Pythagoras, whatever, obtuse triangles, acute triangles. You better teach him shit like that. Keep that bullshit out of my kids' minds, man. That's what makes me really want to just take my child and just run off to another country.
I have not watched the whole video yet. So this is from their Middle Ground series. It's on Jubilee. This whole video is about 40 minutes long, and we're breaking it up into sections because they kind of go into different topics. So I'm just going to react to this first 10-minute bit. It is where they really get into the nitty-gritty of political agendas in the classroom, specifically surrounding sex education and talking about gender identity and sexuality. So I'm excited about that because you guys know that is something I care deeply about. My line in the sand is protecting kids, especially when it comes to the sexualization of them. Their innocence deserves to be protected. That should not be up for debate. So I'm excited to see what these people say. Let's just go ahead and get into it. All right.
Sounds like what you're saying is you want to be able to introduce all ways of life.
Yes.
So would it be okay to include a book with a man having a relationship with a 12-year-old in that book? I know
See,
it's extreme.
no.
Hold on, but just hear me out.
Because now
Hear
you're
me out.
equivocating gay people to pedophiles.
No. This is why I'm bringing it up. Is who establishes the boundary?
the law.
But
Hey, yo, chat, I already know this is gonna trigger a lot of people. I'm a parent of a young girl, and listen, I'm not going for this shit, man. I ain't going for a lot of this shit that's going on. They need to tell me what's gonna happen previously in class, and I'm gonna take my child out for whatever day, a week, or whatever.
Teachers have their own political agendas.
I'm gonna be honest, as a teacher, especially after COVID and all of that, I don't have time for a political agenda. I'm here trying to catch up with curriculum, pick up my readers that are, 2-3 grade levels behind. I do not have time for that. I teach social emotional skills.
Oh, that's actually very cool. Okay, that is Marissa. She's the CEO of PragerU, and she is a badass mother. She has a great show. Anyway, I'm excited to hear what she has to say. Okay, that was just a fun little nugget.
But I'm not here to kind of, you need to believe this, and that. No. If you're a good person, we're good. We're gravy. All good. You know what I mean?
But your definition, and sometimes this can happen and it becomes political, is what is your definition of a good person? Would you think that I'm a good person because I'm raising my kids to be with Judeo-Christian values and they live in a heterosexual, heteronormative home where we talk about how divorce is wrong, cheating is wrong. We have
A Christian parent, a religious parent are the best parents. So religious beliefs are the best way to go. I don't care about political with any type of religious beliefs. That's how you should raise your children, I believe. And I believe like majority of the people in the world believe that. Christian, Islam, Judaism, Buddhist, Hinduism, all fundamentally are, we believe in the same type of structural things, especially the Abrahamic beliefs. I know what I'm trying to say. Do what's right with your kids, man. Take care of them, man. Or these people will put evil in their minds.
Friends of the LGBT community,
out
but we
strong.
teach our children that from a biblical perspective, that's not okay. Your definition of whether or not they are good could be very different than my definition of whether or not they are good.
To kind of clarify, in my classroom, if they're kind and they're not bashing anybody, judging anybody, kind of throwing out names, anything like that, they're good. It's not to say that topics like that don't come up in class. And I do open it up to discussion. I just keep it clear that this is a safe space. We don't judge each other. We're not going to bash each other. I understand you have your own experiences, but we're not going to come in with an agenda, you can say. And I feel like this idea of parents and their teachers of their political biases and all of this is just all of this fear that is clouding their judgment, clouding.
Except we have numerous, not just.
We have experiences.
Yeah, my
not
own
just-
child, first week of school, what pronouns you wanted to go by? I mean, not what's your favorite subject? How can I help you succeed academically?
Who's to say that wasn't a part of the questions too, you know? And I understand that question could stand out.
So maybe
Yo, listen, I'm gonna stop a lot of this shit because I feel like that shit is crazy. I see women with pronouns and their shit on their data. Listen, I'm not talking to y'all. I'm not talking to y'all. You're weird. Y'all weird. You're too weird for me. Y'all fall into that bullshit. And I don't want that shit being taught to my children. That's a fact. She's a girl, lady, woman. That's exactly who she is. The children of me, my child. Nigga, that's how she should be. I'm a little triggered right now, y'all. Let me chill out.
you don't understand that you're teaching politics.
But that's not politics. That's just like basic respect.
I think that's beautiful.
There we go. Okay, one thing I think would be really helpful in like understanding this video and having more context, I would love to know what subjects these people teach. Because if you're a sex ed teacher, then I think it would be a fascinating conversation. I would want to dig deeper. But like if you're a math teacher, why are you concerning yourself with the gender ideology debate? Like teach long division, or better yet, teach kids about the damn economy.
I don't want my kid going to sex ed. Fuck out of here.
Because inflation is skyrocketing and you need to diversify your portfolio with Bully and Max. Maybe we need to teach the 9th graders that. Because the reality is these young people are growing up, they're graduating into a world where inflation is skyrocketing, where we are literally entering a recession. Everything is so expensive and they need to make sure that they are financially protected. So this is the perfect time to give the people in your life the gift of financial security. That is where my sponsor, Bully and Max, comes in. Bully and Max is a direct-to-consumer precious metals retailer where you can buy gold and silver to the 9th graders in school that are learning about weird sexual acts instead of how to prepare themselves for a recession.
Your idea that that's basic respect, what is the framework of that? Because I think that many teachers are going through these trainings and the trainings are saying this is the framework of how we operate in the classroom. But where did that idea come from? is
Because
what
it's
we're getting
based
to.
off, it's called a thing called data.
Did you
So
do
a
that
lot
in
of, hold on. A lot
2010?
of schools have research and development. And so the state also does. So in the state of California, we do research. So at the end of the day, my job is not just to make your kid to feel comfortable. I got 55 students. I got to make 55 students feel comfortable. And so when your kid comes home and tells you, well, mom, the teacher said, what's my pronouns? Yeah, I did say, what's your pronoun? I also said, what's your favorite TV show? What's your favorite food? I am a college professor now. I was previously a 3rd, 4th grade teacher.
Yo, why is he? We're not gonna act like that's okay. You gonna do that in there? I don't care. Don't ask my kid listen, she's a lady or whatever the kid is. They are them. They're what they're born. This is how they put the poison in them. They inject them with the poison at first. Stop. Come on, man. They know what they is when they go there. I call mine a beautiful lady all the time. So don't put that bullshit in any kid's minds. That's not your job, man. Teach them math. Teach them science, bro. That's not your job. You don't. They're not going to school to study gender. That's weird. If they want to learn that, they'll learn that when they go to college. Not while they're little ones. In middle school, elementary school.
Teaching 3rd and 4th grade was horrible. Dealing with parents who thought their child was special and should be treated a certain way. And it just wasn't doable. The constant
Oh my God. Okay, wait. I do
accusing people of doing things that are not going on in our classes, not being enough for their child.
And I'm gonna say they definitely need to pay teachers more. I definitely believe that teachers should be paid way more. I think teachers should at least make 6 figures. I know they don't, but I think they should.
It was just too much.
This is funny that this is a 3rd to 4th grade teacher. Guys, I was pulled out of public school in second grade, going into third grade, I believe, because I was reading at, oh gosh, I don't know, my mom will have to confirm. I was in like middle school reading level, maybe higher in second grade, and I was bored out of my mind. And my mom went to the teacher and said, like, we really like this school. Is there any way that like I can give her other books to read when the other kids are doing things? Do you have recommendations? Can we please just challenge her? She's bored out of her mind. She's reading like at a much higher level at home. I'm not really asking for you to change their curricula. Can she just have some different materials I can even provide them? And the teacher said this, was like, I don't have time for this. Like I have 30 students. I'm doing all of this. Like there's no whatever. And I'm not slamming my former teacher. I'm trying to remember what her name was. She was a sweet woman. And I'm not slamming her or this man because the public education system, God, it is so bloated. These teachers are absolutely overwhelmed. The state is dictating this type of curricula, and then there are many, many teachers that are putting their own political biases on top of that state curricula. So it's a very nuanced issue. But the public school system, it is not set up to work with the needs.
This is why I say teachers need to be paid more. They go through a lot. It's not easy. They're on top of teaching curriculum. They are basically daycare workers making like 40, 50,000. Come on, man. They could make these pay. Come on, man. They could make what the fucking 100,000. Come on. I'm rolling for y'all this time, teachers. I'm rolling for y'all. I'm usually pro kids. I am pro kids, but
needs of all the different unique students. And I don't just talk about my experiences homeschooling and why I think it is just an exceptional way to go about raising children and educating children, just because of the political problems in the school system, but also because of circumstances like this, where teachers are literally so burned out that they cannot give your child what they need. And I'm not saying we need to treat every child as the most perfect, special, like everybody gets a participation award trophy, but if your child has, a special interest or is exceptionally talented at this or is falling behind at this, they deserve to have attention. They deserve to say, okay, let's focus on that. Let's work with you on that. And in a lot of cases, especially in the public school system, that just isn't possible. I also just have to point out that this guy's tone, he's like, oh, these parents, they're coming to me, they're complaining. Who else would they come to? They're not bitching for no reason. They're concerned parents. It is your job to address those concerns. And I have empathy for that because, like I said, the system is messed up. But the tone that my teacher gave my mom and the tone that this guy is giving everybody here, it's very similar and just goes to
yeah, homeschooling might be the best, but you would need a perfect scenario. You need a dad working and a stay-at-home mom, but it definitely makes sense. I know there's a lot of, let's say, private schools that teach like you get the Christian schools, the Jewish schools, you get like the Islamic schools and stuff like that. On average, those students do better than public schools, but public school is more of the real world, to be honest, where everything tries to pollute your child. And it's your job to try to get them on a straight and narrow and just tell them like, take what you can out of it, basically.
show there was another reason to pull your kids out of public school if you were able to. All right. Anyway, moving on, just had to throw that in there because that brought flashbacks, major flashbacks.
When parents don't have the knowledge of what goes on inside of a school, I think it's important for those parents to go to the school. And we as educators like our parents to be involved. Again,
you just said you didn't
I have
want
too many
them
students to
talking to you and
push an
complaining.
agenda. I do my job, what they pay me to do.
Seems like he doesn't need to be a teacher though, or he had enough. Like he's supposedly too tired to be like a middle school teacher and he's a college teacher.
Sexuality doesn't belong in schools.
Facts.
I had a sex ed class when I was in third grade, and it was quite simple. Boys go in this room, girls go in this room. They play a little video on a black and white TV. You see the genitalia, and you're like, oh God, I got one of those. Cool. Now we're figuring out what I am. The fear is these schools have no boundaries. If they do the classroom thing where they want to split kids up, how many genders are we going to do this? We're going to put boys, them, and then girls, and then how many rooms do we need to create for equality? Or are we really chasing equity? And I think parents now are beginning to realize we've got to stop this and create framework about sexuality, especially in a hyper-sexualized culture. My kids don't need to know at 6, 7, and 8 years old about different types of sexual acts. That's not appropriate.
People think that this is just kind of happening, it's a one-off. It is in so many schools. Where I live in Florida, there was a poster going around where kids could text anonymous strangers to get information about sex. And on this poster in school, want to get laid?
Wow.
I mean, it's beyond, and there is a push for pleasure-based.
Disgusting. Disgusting. That'd be the last time my child goes to that school.
Sex.
Okay. I'm filming this video the day after, or I think it came out last night, after the latest Project Veritas expose came out. And if you guys have not seen this video, you probably will have by the time that you watch this reaction. It is insane. They expose a dean of students at a private faith-based school who is bragging about giving dildos and butt plugs to students, and how the students are just walking, handing them around, playing with the dildos. And then he says, oh yeah, we talked about the differences between like spit and lube, and we're using all that is a dean of students. And then James O'Keefe, who I just adore, because he's just like
that is disgusting. You will die. Whoo, let me stop. This is YouTube.
He's so smart, but he's also a showman in everything he does. He's like chasing down this guy at the school. Kids are leaving, and he's like, oh, you must be the dean. Oh, you gave them butt plugs. You gave them dildos. And the guy starts running up the stairs and slams the door. And then all the teachers that are trying to get the kids like into their parents' cars is like, you need to get off this thing. And James O'Keefe is like, but he's giving kids dildos. Like, that's the dean. He's giving them dildos. Mind-boggling. My point here is what these parents are talking about, what they are concerned about, it does happen in schools.
Here's how to make a Snapchat ad in 3 easy steps. Sign up, upload an image, launch your ad in.
And I understand that these liberal teachers are probably going to sit down and they're going to say, well, it's important to have a discussion, like we're living in,
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. My kids go to school for math, social studies, science, fitness, maybe some arts. What the fuck are you teaching them this shit for? That's this, yo. The Western world is done for. It's cancer. It's killing itself from the inside out slowly. And this is why people that actually make money take their money and run. This shit is disgusting, bro.
Different times, we want to be inclusive, we want to teach these kids about these things so that they can be safe. That is the parents' job. The groundwork has been set. The groundwork has been set in schools and education in our society that is allowing people like that dean to give your kids butt plugs and dildos for educational purposes.
My oldest is 9 years old. She's in 3rd grade, and she's been exposed to things, and we do have conversations about it. But that's a conversation that I should be having with my 9-year-old daughter. If a 6th grader or a 4th grader is going to be prompted by a teacher, hey, what are your pronouns? As a parent, I should have a heads up about that, because they're not even going to understand the question. And so I think that the idea that those conversations are started in the classroom instead of in the home is a big problem. I have a family member who first day of 6th grade was asked for her pronouns, and she stood up and said that as a person of faith, she believed that God didn't make a mistake making her a girl. And so therefore she identified as a she, her, and she was sent to the principal's office and punished for
Love that girl. I love her. I love it. I love it. She's a leader. She's a smart one. She didn't even second guess the devil's work. I swear to God, man. God.
that decision. Thankfully, we haven't seen that broadly yet, but I think it's really damaging to take a shy, innocent 11-year-old child and make them stand in front of a classroom and determine something that they maybe haven't even put that much thought into.
I like what you said, Sean, about how you were emphasizing, how a lot of parents today felt a goodness of the way that sexual education was conducted in the past. So there is an agreement that sexuality should be talked about.
Got the little hand though. He got the grab my straw.
On schools, the disagreement is whether it should just be purely heteronormative or if we should include all aspects of sexuality. I don't think that we're doing demonstrations to encourage children how to have sex, but this is something that we are trying to, again, educate and make them aware that this kind of things happen. And while you grow up, you're going to have to experience somebody who's of this orientation.
Kids are naturally curious, and I think that what I'm hearing from you is I understand where you're maybe potentially coming from, but then where's the line between that sex education and introducing them to?
Tell them, talk to your parents about it. Can I talk to you about this? I understand your concern. Talk to your parents about it. That's what you should say. It's not be a parent, my kid or my kids.
Porn, because porn can be educational.
Also, that's an incredibly important point to bring up because porn and sexually explicit content is so accessible these days. I mean, literally, it is on Spotify. You can find it anywhere. And schools are bringing it up. There was a school in New York City, an elite private school, who had a class on masturbation and OnlyFans and teaching kids about the sexual industry and OnlyFans and how to work in like their 6th grade sex ed class. Like, that's crossing the line. I do believe in the importance of basic sex ed, but you cannot convince me that talking about masturbation, showing kids porn, talking about the pornographic industry is doing anything to protect them. Everybody's argument is based on protecting kids. That's not protection. That is exposing them to something that is just grotesque and disgusting and not age appropriate. And if they are young adults and they are online and they're curious, they might stumble upon that stuff, but it should not be teachers showing kids this as part of a curriculum. That's twisted and it's sick. Again, you cannot convince me that that is education or protection.
When I got married, and for years I was made fun of and heard, well, how are you going to know if you don't try it? We hear that a lot too. If you haven't tried to kiss a girl to see if you like it or not, then how do you really know that you're not a lesbian? How do you really know that you're not gay if you've never slept with a guy? How do you really know that you...
This is a stupid concept. Like, how would you know someone if you don't hurt somebody? What the fuck? Yo, this shit is wild. Listen, I'm the parent. You don't be a parent to my child. This is not your job. Your job is to teach science. My kid will miss out on sex education class every chance.
You want to be in a monogamous relationship if you don't sleep around. And when you start to introduce those questions to children, specifically prepubescent ones, they're going to naturally be curious, and their emotional and hormonal maturity is not there to be making those types of decisions that have lifelong impact.
Well, you're right. And a lot of them are learning at home because just like you guys are saying, they come home to tell you things. Well, guess what? Those same kids come to school and talk about what you're telling them at home. You'll be surprised what I hear from students when I do a what do you think? Well, let me tell you what my mama and daddy did. And look, I don't have time. Your kid is not that important to me, not to be rude. I got like 300 students. Your kid is no more important than the other 299.
Listen, I understand that this man is tired. He has spent his time in the public education system. I'm sure he's nice. Everything he is saying here, take the political stuff out of it, should be an example of why your kids should not be in public school. He said, I don't care. Do you really want...
I said, listen, man, homeboy need to lay it down. It's not for him. This is not your job. I'd have said that, bro. Like, you don't need to be working no more, man. Go and do garbage. Garbage people make more money than you. Stop it. Just go. Come on. You
want your children to be educated by people that do not care, that do not have time for them. They're either going to have teachers that don't care or ones that care so much about their own political agenda that they're putting it on there. And then somewhere mixed in there, we're still going to have some fantastic teachers that really love children, that are doing everything they can to protect your kids. And there's somewhere in there, and I truly believe it. I see it in my comment section. I see you guys saying, I'm trying, I'm sticking it out, and I love you, and I'm so grateful for you. But this is the case for a lot of teachers, and it is a symptom of a very, very broken system that you guys are forced to deal with. But I mean, man, he just seems to like hate his job, and I'm sure he's very happy to be out of like teaching 3rd and 4th grade.
So I don't have time to sit up here and let me get you to think like me. I can't get my own 23-year-old to think like me. At the end of the day, what needs to happen, and this is just my own personal take, parents need to start being parents, because a lot of times the teachers are the parents. They're parenting their kids because of absentee parenting.
He did though make,
but that's the problem in America. The parents, both the parents they break up. They're not with each other. They both work, so they don't see the child as much. So they're at school or at daycare more than often. It's just a problem of America. It's an American problem altogether. So That's why I say people need to have kids with people they love and be together forever. Need to be more love, so they can figure it out. One can stay home majority of the time, or vice versa. Either one, but it's a team game. As a team, people think too much of self, and this is why I do a lot of red pill content, man. It's crazy.
Make a very good point there. And I think that that goes back to the parents of, for so many years, parents have just thought, oh, I'll just send my kids to school. It's a perfectly safe environment. It's totally fine. They're going to learn all the things. They're going to come home. They're going to go to soccer practice. And then we see these stats that across the world, this is in the UK, it's here in America, there's tons of polls in the last few years. On average, parents spend 30 minutes a day with their children. This is excluding like caring for them when they're younger, like feeding, changing their diaper, that sort of thing. But you spend 30 minutes of quality time parenting your children every single day. Like you are handing
Not I.
over parenting to these teachers who either have some huge agenda or just don't have time. And he is right. Parents do need to step up. You need to be engaged in the school. You have to know what is going on in the curricula because they're spending more time with these teachers than they are with you. And that's not like pointing the blame at parents because they have believed in a system that has obviously become very, very broken and flawed. It's just a fact that we all need to be aware about. Like I heard that stat at a conference in South Dakota at Freedom Fest, and it was a speaker was talking about it. And I mean, I was shocked. I was floored. I already knew that I wanted to homeschool my future children because I loved it. I had a fantastic experience, but that absolutely like solidified that. There was going to be no way in hell that I would have children and then only spend 30 minutes a day with them as their mother, as their parent.
I think that this conversation is really interesting, and I think we need to step back and look at why we automatically assume that if we're telling our children about lesbians, gay people, queer people, why do we immediately equivocate that to telling them about what sex is? That can just be something as simple as, here's a book.
I already know how the way she's talking. She's pro 45, 30, 20, binary, pansexual. My child don't need to know about that. That's something they figure out when they're grown. If they want to do that when they're grown, they can do that. But you don't need to be putting that in their mind.
In this book, there are two dads. This book character has two dads. And kids,
I don't want my
they
kid-
can be
listen,
inquisitive,
look at
and that's good.
Listen, if a book got two dads, man, I don't want my kid watching it. I don't want my kid reading it. This is something for them to figure out when they're older. That is something, boy or girl. I don't want them. Listen, man, no. And this is how they poison the child, bro.
Right?
Got
But
5
also,
more
like, they're gonna be
minutes
like, cool, there's two dads.
All these kids know that there's a dad and a dad and a mom and a mom, and the culture is teaching all of that. So what we've noticed is that the curriculum in 8th grade and up is a lot deeper than that. It's more like, here is how you can have sex so you do not get pregnant.
Yeah.
Illustration of anal sex. That is the stuff that we are now reacting against. And that sadly is the trust that's being broken between teachers and parents.
Yeah, and I think we're moving into a conversation about comprehensive sex ed. What I am talking about is when I go into this classroom and I'm teaching kids, I'm not going to just teach kids material that is heteronormative.
Out of curiosity, it sounds like what you're saying is you want to be able to introduce all ways of life. Like these are the people that you will encounter with.
Listen, chat. Listen, man. Listen. It's hard for me to watch this shit, man. And I'm on YouTube. I can't say certain shit. I can't do. How y'all feel about this, man? I ain't even gonna get to the end of this, man, because the shit really pissing me off, man. My shit starting to freeze up. All right, chat, man. Holla at y'all. See y'all another day, man.